Do you withdraw and isolate when you feel vulnerable because you feel like you'll be rejected? Or do you pull away and avoid people when you feel insecure because you think they'll reject you? You could be having these feelings because of past childhood experiences. So today what we're going to be talking about is what causes these feelings, how they can show up in menopause, and what you can do to start changing these feelings. Often our emotional experiences from our early years, they shaped how we see ourselves, how we see others, and how we see the world. So they can come from big, obvious traumas, but it also can come from everyday, subtle experiences that left us feeling unseen, unsafe, or unloved. And our childhood experiences are connected with many of the menopausal symptoms that we have. So it's important to listen to our bodies to be able to understand and address our emotional and physical symptoms. If you have feelings of rejection, this could be because you were made to feel unwanted or unworthy, whether it was because of harsh criticism, being excluded, or just feeling like you weren't truly accepted for who you were. And it could leave you believing like you're not enough. Maybe you felt rejected because of certain behaviors or emotions. If you showed sadness or frustration, and then they were dismissed, or you were punished or teased, then you may have learned that these emotions are not acceptable. If you heard phrases like, "Don't cry," then you were taught to suppress your tears and that your feelings are not important when you're upset. If you voiced frustration and were told, "You're such a drama queen," this could have belittled your emotional response, suggesting that your feelings are performance and they're not to be taken seriously. Some children are just naturally expressive, but if you were frequently interrupted and not given the opportunity to speak, that could have led you to believe your thoughts and feelings are not worth hearing. Were you quiet and shy, and then you were criticized for not being outgoing enough? Or it could have been completely the opposite. You were an outgoing child and were told you were too loud and crazy, or you were a clown. Comparisons also affect us. If you were constantly compared to your sibling, why can't you be like your brother or sister? And more likely you felt rejected. All these types of rejections can make a child feel like who they really are deep down inside are not accepted. And they develop that unconscious belief that existing is wrong, or I don't have the right to be myself. Because of feelings of rejection from childhood, as an adult, you may distance yourself from other people and avoid situations where you might feel rejected again, and you struggle with a deep sense of not belonging. For example, in one instance with your career, you probably struggle in your career choices. You may hesitate to take risks or pursue new opportunities. You could have a chance at your dream job, but because of fear of failure or potential rejection that could happen, you turn it down. And number two, you have difficulty accepting constructive criticism. Someone may have, good recommendations for improvement, but it hurts you to the bone because you feel like you're being rejected all over again. It's taking you back to those childhood memories. Number three, you have a constant need for external approval. You constantly need to hear, "You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job." If you don't hear that, you doubt yourself. And four, you have a tendency to overwork to prove your worth, the superwoman syndrome. Also, you tend to become emotionally numb, detached, and withdrawn from your own feelings and from those of others. How can feelings of rejection show up in menopause? Well, there are some symptoms that are common to these feelings of rejection. Number one is anxiety. So I want you to take note of these things so that you can, it'll help you connect the dots. Do you have a racing heart, digestive issues, restlessness? This is because a child who feels constantly threatened with rejection grows up to have a nervous system that's overreacting to perceived social dangers, which leads to chronic anxiety. Number two, insomnia. It's a very common symptom for many of us that are going through the stages of menopause. So feelings of rejection also contribute to difficulty sleeping, right? You have trouble falling asleep, trouble staying asleep, or waking up early. So it's good to keep a journal of your sleep pattern. If medications and other treatments haven't worked, perhaps it's time to think about the emotional aspect and how that can help you to finally get the restful sleep that you need and deserve, right? The third symptom is autoimmune disease. And in autoimmune disease, the immune system, it's mistakenly attacking the body's own healthy tissue. So from a psychosomatic perspective, it's like your body's own immune system is acting like a mirror of your emotions. And since you're rejecting yourself emotionally, the body starts to attack itself. So it may be something that you've never heard before, but that's why it's important to take the time to listen to your body and really see how our emotions are affecting the symptoms that we're having, struggles with during our menopause transition. Now, what are some strategies to heal these feelings of rejection that you had from childhood? Healing doesn't mean erasing our past, right? We can't erase our past, but it means giving you or giving yourself what you needed then, now. Because in rejection, you felt rejected. And now it's time to accept yourself. So I use a strategy that's focused on embracing your right to exist fully and authentically. We practice recognizing that your value is unconditional and unchangeable, regardless of what others think or what they do. Because a person who has felt rejected usually has a self-concept that depends on others. So healing begins when you internalize the truth that your worth is not earned through people, but it's simply a fact of your existence. So we replace self-rejection with self-acceptance. And a feeling of rejection can also cause you to abandon parts of who you really are to be accepted by others. But believing in your worth encourages embracing all parts of yourself, including those that you may consider uncomfortable or undesirable. So we learn to love and appreciate ourselves from head to toe. And we do this through self-acceptance exercises. We diffuse negative thoughts, and you gradually allow yourself to be seen by supportive people. Also, we help you to recognize with positive affirmations such as I am enough exactly as I am. And that's a form of, using these affirmations for you to accept yourself. Also, I help you see the importance of validating yourself and recognize that your value does not decrease because someone is unable to see your worth. And I'll work with you so you can regain your inner peace and view those past difficult situations as learning experiences. I use a 5-step method in my coaching sessions called RAT, and it's the key to helping you to be the best version of yourself again and achieve emotional health during your menopause journey. So in this 5-video series, this is the first one, and dealing with rejection and feelings of being rejected, I'll be sharing one of the steps in each of the 5 videos. So you want to make sure you don't miss any of the videos in the series so that you can get all 5 steps to wellness. So in this one, I'm going to share the number 1. And step 1 is recognize. It's R for recognize. We're going to pause to recognize what happened to you. It's not about what's wrong with you, it's what happened to you. So you acknowledge those thoughts and feelings and sensations that are affecting you in the present. It could be fear, it could be shame, unworthiness. It's important to pause for self-awareness because self-awareness is key to emotional wellness. So, which lesson from today can make the biggest difference in your life right now? What do you plan to put into practice? I hope you took some notes and that you'll comment. Please comment below and let me know. And make sure you are already subscribed and you stay tuned for the upcoming videos to get the next 4 steps to a better you. And you can click on the link below In the description, it's a WhatsApp link to get the updates on my group coaching sessions and also the hot topics that we'll be discussing in the Radiance Lounge. And you can also direct message me on Instagram at Reignite Your Radiance. And be sure to check out my video on writing a letter to your inner child to get you on that road to recovery. I'll see you soon.